All right, music fans, welcome back. It is I, Dave, the real music observer, observing real music in real time for real people, just like you right there. And this dude here, Pat Benatar, number one. Number one. There's no female vocalist in my lifetime who has impacted the kind of music that I love more than Pat Benatar. She should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with her husband, Neil Giraldo. Okay, just and a great marriage, by the way, and a great story. They're still out there killing it, knocking them dead, and doing what they love to do, unplugged for the most part. But and by the way, very smart. You know, as you age, rather than trying to sing over all of this hard instrumentation, heavy duty instrumentation, you grab some acoustic guitars and bang out these hits like they're doing. But Pat Benatar, I just look. Honorable mention go to Patti Smythe, Ann Wilson, for sure. Great vocalists and definitely on my list. But Benatar, this isn't hypothetical. I had the debut album. I had Crimes of Passion. I had Precious Time. Just great album that Rolling Stone completely trashed. And then you get Grammys coming off of that, and then you got Grammy off of Crimes of Passion. I mean, go listen to a tune called Prisoner of Love if you have an opportunity off of Crimes of Passion. Should have been a single, would have been an awesome follow-up to whatever single, they were doing. Like, I think they were playing it safe by releasing Treat Me Right and things like that. But You Better Run, You Better Run was a Rascals tune, and I think they probably thought, hey, let's go with this because people already kind of know it. The Benatar deep cut material, like Out of Touch and Wuthering Heights and I Never Want to Leave You and I'm Gonna Follow You. I mean, those tunes are those are etched in my brain because I just absolutely destroyed that album. I killed it. I played it. I had the vinyl because the vinyl you wanted to see Pat, okay? Precious Time. Just besides Fire and Ice, just the whole thing, the song Precious Time. They did this big long video on MTV of it, and other than Fire and Ice, which was a great song, you got Promises in the Dark. You got a Paul Revere and the Raiders tune called Just Like Me. Like I said, title track. They had another tune called Take It Any Way You Want It, and It's a Tough Life. All of those songs, from what I remember, most of them anyway, got on rock stations. WCOZ, 94 HJY out of Providence, WAAF out of Worcester, Massachusetts. All great stations and all playing Pat Benatar stuff. Get Nervous is the fourth album. Title track is amazing. Shadows of the Night, fantastic. Looking for a Stranger. Fight It Out, The Victim. Those are all songs that got some radio airplay. Just A Little Too Late. Do you remember A Little Too Late? It's a little too... I don't know. I'm not going to sing. It's just a bad idea. Of course, they kind of went off a little bit trying really hard on Tropico and that kind of stuff to do top 40. When you had We Belong, which was a mega top 40 hit, and it's one that's been focus tested these days, and yeah, that's a great song. We're just going to keep that in our 80s rotation because everybody loves We Belong, but nobody has ever heard Precious Time on the radio. It's just go listen to Precious Time. It's better than We Belong. I mean, We Belong was a great song, and you've heard it a million times, so you've gotten used to it. I don't know. I think it's better than Invincible, which is a great song. But that's the era there where Pat, again, does a little reinvention. The new wave stuff has been, cast aside because new wave at that point was kind of over. But, Get Nervous, that might have been the last gasp of some of that. And the critics liked Get Nervous a lot, which was weird because if you liked Get Nervous and you didn't like Precious Time and you didn't like Crimes of Passion, I don't know where your brain is at that point, but they came back with Wide Awake in Dreamland. I was in radio at the time. All Fired Up was number one at our station and did extraordinarily well That was what we deemed a comeback, and album sales proved that a little bit. You went from a little over 600,000 copies to over 700,000 sold. True Love comes out, big risky chance, blues album. B.B. King song is your lead single rather. And it's a great album, by the way. Blues people like it, and the mainstream rockers liked it, and we played it. We weren't at all afraid of playing the True Love stuff. Pat Benatar should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's just, I don't know how else. I mean, of any video I've done about who should be in the Hall of Fame, think this through, okay? First of all, this is an institution that is based on, I think, fairness. They do fairness more than they do, sometimes they do fairness ahead of ability or merit, which drives me crazy. Just do it on merit. Here is an instance where I think something has gone a little awry with the fairness aspect of it. Look, Benatar was eligible, 1995, 96, something like that? She should have been in. She should have been right in. It should have been before the end of the 90s. Pat Benatar should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Her body of work is just outstanding. Her husband is a great guitar player. Their drummer, like I said, Myron, he is a beast, or their former drummer. I don't think he's with them anymore. But the point being is this original band from, say, their second album through the end of the decade. I don't know who left and who came back and so forth. But at the very least, you've got to do Pat and Neil into the Hall of Fame. I mean, this is just, it's just madness that they're not in there. And for those of you who forget how great Pat Benatar was as an artist, go back and listen to Crimes of Passion from start to finish. Precious Time, Get Nervous, even the debut album, which is not quite as put together as far as consistency of music. I mean, there was a tune on there called My Clone Sleeps Alone. Certainly going after the new wave crowd on that. But as time goes on, I mean, this band and these musicians, the writing, the playing, and Pat singing. Look, if you don't want to include Neil, I think he needs to go with Pat. Then Pat's got to go alone. And it's fairly easy to see why Pat Benatar should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's one of my favorites. She is my favorite vocalist in the female category of all time. All right, that's just throwing it out there. All right, so that's my video. Pat Benatar, numero uno, should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure what you think about Pat Benatar. I've never done a Benatar video, and shame on me for waiting this long because she is an absolute treasure, and she should be in the Hall. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm Dave. I'll talk to you soon.